At 6:40 in the morning, the doorbell rang.
I was at home with the children.
I saw people with weapons outside.
They were wearing bulletproof vests, masks, and had machine guns.
They were banging on the door very loudly. We had to open it.
When my husband opened the door, a young man held a gun to my husband's head.
The search began. They turned everything upside down. They searched everywhere.
We were not allowed to talk to each other or phone anyone.
When we were brought before the investigative committee, after climbing the stairs to the second floor, my mom immediately became ill and she fainted.
I ran to my sister. She was already laying on the floor, on the dirty floor. We yelled, "Somebody help!" but nobody helped.
And there was just a crowd of people, men who surrounded me, and they looked at all of this like it was some kind of charade or circus.
Then the ambulance came. They took her away. They let her daughter go with her, but not me.
So on that day, I almost lost my mother.
I'm not afraid for myself. I'm afraid for my children. What will they do without me?
We did nothing wrong, and they came to us with machine guns, as if we were some kind of criminals.
During the hearing in the Supreme Court, the representatives of the Ministry of Justice repeatedly claimed that the court decision does not affect ordinary believers. It will only concern the legal entities. But in reality, what do we see? Article 28 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation, which guarantees freedom of conscience and religion, is overridden, as are the norms of international law.
Jehovah's Witnesses were persecuted in the fascist era, but quite curiously, they were not persecuted for being extremist, quite the contrary. They were persecuted for being pacifist and not wanting to cooperate in the fascist regime military rhetoric and militarization of the society. So in a way they were persecuted for not being extremist. So when I hear that they are persecuted in Russia for being extremist, it impresses me as something quite ridiculous, talking of the Jehovah's Witnesses.
It is so easy in my country, it turns out, to crack down. And I emphasize crack down on quite a large number of believers, on their dignity, their religious feelings. If this would happen in a movie, yes, probably it would be great. It would be a real expose to show how you can bully people.
Many of these repressive mechanisms are invented not for a specific group, but for some other threat, not religious, but political. And often later they are applied in quite an unexpected way.
So it's very tricky to transfer this term, extremism, political term, to confessional situations and affairs.
I never met one single expert does not agree that what Russia is doing to Jehovah's Witnesses is illegal on the basis of the international convention Russia subscribed.
This means that all of, well, at least the adult Jehovah's Witnesses, may potentially be criminally prosecuted.
What does this mean? They say, look what we can do to you. We can treat you like guinea pigs and do whatever we want with you. And not only with you. Here we have a Dane in jail, and an official representative from Denmark is sent for him, but we couldn't care less. We have him in jail, so we will keep him in jail. Intimidation? Who is being frightened?
There is not a single democratic country with this kind of a mechanism.
One of the priorities for the Russians is to legitimate and defend their decision to liquidate the Jehovah's Witnesses.
We need not stop our efforts to make popular what is happening.